Hey everybody, it's a nice crisp cool morning this morning. It was 28 degrees when I got up, and I wanted to get out and shoot some video with you guys. It's been a couple of weeks since you heard from me, and just wanted to let you know what was going on. Yeah, everything's still going forward with the plans. It's just that my favorite fan, my wife, said to me about a month ago, it said, "Honey, I could use some getaway time." So 2 tickets to Key West and some R&R on the beach for my biggest supporter. I'm never going to turn her down, because I mean, I'm going to be gone for 5 months, and she's not even saying a word about it. She's just like happy that I'm going on an adventure. So we were gone for 2 weeks, and unfortunately someone on the plane on the way back must have been sick, because both her and I came down with very bad colds. We didn't really test to see if it was COVID or not. I felt really low. Lungs were very congested. Fever was really high for a couple of days, but then it broke. And lots of chicken soup and that kind of thing, and some aspirin, and we dulled away the pain. But I'm back up now. I am not wearing my pack at the moment. You'll see that in a second when I show you some other things. And that's because my pack, one, is a full 20 pounds, and my lungs are still healing from the cold, but two, it's broken out and it's laid out on the floor. I'm getting ready to do my equipment video now. So there's a couple of things I was waiting on. One of them came in, and I'll stop here and show you what I'm. So the Alteryx Cerium hoodie came in, and I'm sorry I can't get much of a better shot here than this, but that came in last week, and I've been out testing it, and it's worth every dollar I paid for it. I've got a t-shirt on underneath this, and it's below freezing right now, and I'm quite comfortable. So I'm pretty sure that that's gonna work out for me when I'm out on the trail. Now, the other thing that I was waiting for, and I'm still waiting for it, is my Arms of the Andes alpaca base layers. I come across this company that's down in Peru, and very much like the coffee drinkers in the crowd here that know that, you know, Green Mountain brings to the market people who are normally kind of shut out of the business by the middleman, and their profits are gone. And Arms of the Andes seems to be one of those businesses, although I don't know who's supporting them. It would be interesting to find out more information. So if anybody out there knows, please get back to me. Make a comment below and let me know what's going on with them, because they're such a small operation that you order your stuff and it appears that they hold your order. They don't charge you for it. They just have your credit card number. They hold your order until they have enough of an order to pull together a crew to run the system, however they're doing it down there. And I'm not going to try and say I'm an expert on what they're doing, because I have no clue. But I'm just waiting on my order to come in. And like I said, I know that they do small batch orders, but they've just got to get enough together. So I'm waiting on them, but I'm going to go ahead with my gear video anyways. So this area that I'm walking in now, I'm out here for a couple reasons. One, I had a guy who's one of my followers who expressed, you know, that he would like to see me out on other trails and not in my backyard by my pool and shed. And he just didn't realize that I do spend a lot of time out here on these, so I thought I would spend some time showing you what my town puts together for us. These are trails that go through our municipality that normally would be like wasted land, because there are sound buffer zones between our urban area and our highways. And they come back in here and landscape these trails. And this one's been here for 5 or 6 years now, but there's another section about 10 miles out that's a brand new section that's really nice. And just as an example, like, they have these little exercise stations, and I'm sure a lot of you out there have trails in your municipalities that do the same thing. But if you look out in this, and you can't see them, I'll tell you what they are in just a second here. This whole area on a weekend is got a fairly good crowd in it, because there's a disc golf course out here, and the people come out in droves. The starting point is back where I park normally, and let's just see some more of the landscape. I'm figuring you're more interested in landscape than my pearly blue eyes and toothy little grin. And I think that's the way I'm going to keep it for most of the trail too. I'll say good morning to you in the morning, but other than that, you're going to get to see the scenery, which I think you're more interested in. So, and anyways, our municipality builds these things. And like I said, they've been doing them for many, many years now. And just recently, on one of my walks, I discovered a sign that's back in here that says that this is compliments of our municipality, along with the support of the U.S. Department of Interior. Apparently there was funding coming in from them a while back, and they just built these. Now, this continues on for miles like this. And this is a really nice training zone. And this goes, well, back in that direction that you're looking at now, back about 3 miles is Lake Ontario, the South Shore of Lake Ontario. And then this trail heads all the way south in this direction here to our Erie Canal system, which most people know what that is in New York State. It was a canal system built a long time ago. And this is my side training ground. So to get back to the original point, the gentleman that said that he would like to see less of my pool and my shed in my backyard, this is for you. You asked, you get it. So this is my side training ground. My normal training ground, where you've seen me climbing the hills down at Bristol Mountain and at the Bristol Ski Lodge and Resort area, that's a 2-hour round trip for me. And then 2 hours or 3 hours on the hill, you know, that makes for a long day, and I can get in more walking time and more exercise time staying here close by. So these are the trails I prefer. I just never showed them to you guys before, so this will give you an idea where I spend a lot of my time. This is just, I mean, absolutely stunning country. When I was a little boy, we had areas like this in my neighborhood where we grew up, but they've since been overdeveloped with suburbs and plazas and schoolyards and everything else like that. But this is the kind of thing that I grew up in. This is, and ironically, this little spot right over here used to be a campground for us when we were in Boy Scouts when we were little kids. But anyways, I just wanted you to see where this was and to let you know that, yeah, we're still out here. We didn't leave. We're still planning on going ahead with our plans. And it's the excitement and the anticipation, I've got to tell you, it's chilling. It gives me goosebumps sometimes when I think about it. No, there we go. There's a nice little danger zone right there. They got it clear. But getting ready to go on this trip is just, it's a 20-year dream. And to be able to get out here and be in this type of nature and know that this is going to be similar to what I see on the trail is just amazing. The anticipation and the dreams all coming around are really cool. So I just noticed that I got company coming down the trail, and I don't want to force them into a situation, and they have a dog. So I'm going to end it here. I'll catch up with you in a few minutes. You guys take care and enjoy. Hey, we're back. I'm about a mile farther south than when I cut off the video before, and I just wanted you guys to see some of this area. Now, I don't know if you can pick up the sound in the background facing this way, but about a quarter mile or just a little bit more is one of our main north and south heavily trafficked highways. And this is the sound buffer in between, and there's a little bit of noise right there. And if you look way over, maybe I can get them in the view here. There's a house over there. It's about 1/8 of a mile out. And with all this around us, during the summer, the leaves and the foliage and everything that's on there is an amazing sound buffer. Now, this is technically out of the park zone that I started out in this morning when I started the video. So the park hours state that you can't be in the park before 8 o'clock in the morning and after 9 p.m. at night. And that's their regulations. I think they just try and keep the park nice. They don't want any of the crowded parties going on late at night. But where I am now is, if I'm not mistaken, is state land. I've never seen the ownership tags, but I have seen landmarks that designate the buffer zone between the highway and the quiet area, the concrete triangle shaped pillars. and they appear to be in this area. And as you can see, if somebody wanted to come out here and cowboy camp or do some stealth camping, boy, there's some amazing areas in here. It's pretty, and there's a lot of wildlife in here. There's deer in here and other smaller animals. We don't have bear or anything like that up here yet, but I think within the next couple of years we probably will. They're made it up as far as what's known as the Montezuma Swamps, which isn't that far away from the south. And from the north, our Adirondack Mountains is where I spent my teenage years with my dad, big game hunting for deer and bear up there. So we're smack in the middle, so eventually we probably will get black bears around here. Nothing too dangerous. I don't think there's been a grizzly within sight of New York State by 1,000 miles in all of history, so it wouldn't be anything we'd worry about. But again, just some stunning area. And I'm thinking right now, with the temperatures the way they are, and I'm going to find out this weekend. I'll take you guys along with me, but I'm going to head down to my training ground, and I'm just going to bareback up, or what they call, slack packing up the hill, if I'm able to get on the hill. With these temperatures, our snowmaking facilities at Bristol Mountain are amazing. I wouldn't be surprised to get down there and find a foot or two of snow, man-made, on the hill, hoping for the freezing nights, because it is in a valley, so the sun doesn't always get to it all day long, just the tops. And they would probably leave the tops alone. They'll just fill in the lower valleys from mid-station down. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the lodge open just a little after Thanksgiving. But just to give you an idea how beautiful this area is in here. You know, again, it's not presenting me with any 1,000-foot climbs, but there's quite a bit of elevation changes, as you can see coming up here. There's about 50 or 60 foot that I'm going to be going up here shortly, and then I'm going to be coming out onto one of our thoroughfare crossroads, and that will interfere with the peace and tranquility of being in here. So I'm going to shut this off for now. I'm going to cut back to you when I get up to one of the bigger areas where we have a lot of retention pond area for the wildlife that our community demands be built into any new development or anything like that. My town is big on conservation, big on anything to do with like bird watching. We've got an entire park that used to be a small community park that's now been turned into a bird sanctuary. And maybe I can get out there before I head out to the trail. If I can, I'll let you guys see it. But for now, I'm going to stop it here, and I'll catch up with you in just a minute. Hey, we're back. I'm over on the other side. I just did a crossover in one of the side streets where it's a smaller side street where we cut over. And now I'm on the opposite side of the expressway. That's it up there, as you can see. And there's no real buffer zone here. On the other side of the trail is a heavily older populated area of the town, which was built probably 50, 60 years ago, and there was no real wildlife zone. So they kind of gave us this here, and if you look up there, you can see a crossover for going over the expressway, so that you, back in about 10 or 15 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, kids were trying to race across the expressway on foot, and it obviously wasn't a safe situation. So they came along and built that overhead for everybody, because it's an old school neighborhood that's got a lot of housing in it, that's got a lot of young families. So that was one of the safety factors they built. Like I say, our municipality spends a lot of money on our outdoor life, and considering we live in one of the biggest snow belts, it's crazy that we have all this. It's really good. But I'll catch up with you in a bit. Hey everybody, we're back. This is one of my fun spots along the trail. First of all, this is a retention pond that's near one of our expressways, and it continues all the way back down there. I mean, it's a good, I'd say it's a good 200 yards long, and it's a great collecting place for ducks and geese. It's well protected away from predators because of the steep banks on it, and this is an area where ducks and geese come to have their young during the spring and early summers. There's a lot of nesting goes on along here, And one of the funny things is, right here in this spot right here, it's nothing to view, it's nothing special to anyone other than the people that hike this trail. This is a place we call Dog Water. Somebody brought out a couple of dog dishes a couple of years ago and was leaving bottles of water, and the rest of us, as we were walking by, started going, hey, you know, we should leave a little bit of water behind. I just noticed something. I don't know if you guys can catch it in the sun glare, but right there in the pond and forming all along here is it. Here we go. Some of our local people. Let's see if I can get in a little bit closer to them. There we go. Now, some of these guys stay here all year long. And I don't know how true it is, but I'm told that if migratory birds are born in an area, they stay there. They don't migrate. For some reason, it breaks their cycle. They stay here, and they live where there's plenty of food. And there's a lot of fish in here. Fishermen are in here all the time during the summer, and you'll probably see some if the weather breaks. But I was pointing out the ice that's out on here because this morning's temperature, like I say, was 28 degrees. And a very thin layer of ice has formed, and these guys are seeing it. And I'm thinking that it's bringing the fish closer to the surface. These guys may be out doing their own fishing. But this is the border of an area, as you can see up there in the background. If you can see through the sun glare, my apologies for the sun glare. There's not a lot I can do about that. And over in here and behind me is a mixed commercial and industrial area. The trail ends about 2 miles farther south of here on a really nice area where they were very thoughtful. They built like a cubby hole, almost like a giant foxhole where it ends, and there's tables and chairs in there. And the wife and I have gone up there and cooked a meal and hung out for a little while, took a little short nap, and then headed back home. I'm about 3 miles out from home, so that would put it about 5 miles up there. And for us, that's where the trail ends in regards to what we can hike here on these trails. If you go farther south, another 2 miles beyond that, you can hook into the Erie Canal, which goes east and west, and that has open trails on it. Some of them paved, some of them just dirt and cinders and stone, some of them just dirt paths along the edge of the canal. But it goes from Buffalo, New York, out to Albany, New York, and I'm, as far as I can remember, I believe that's about a 400-mile run, 300 to 400-mile run between the two, and it's a big area for people on bicycles and people on camping and people that like to do this hiking. It's fun along the trails, and there's a lot of bicycle groups and camping groups that meet out there and set up like weekend runs. And I know we do have a fundraiser that starts out, and that's some of our local highway traffic there, thank you. I'm not going to miss that when I'm out on the trail come next year. But there are several bicycle clubs and hiking clubs. My wife's stepdad is in one of the bicycle clubs, and my barber is in another one of the bicycle clubs. Him and her, their clubs get together and they raise money for charities. I believe muscular dystrophy was this year, and they will bicycle from Buffalo to Albany, and people contribute, so much a mile, basic fundraisers. But it's a fun place just to get out. We're able to tool it up and kind of expedite different travels back and forth like that, and we can take advantage of it being a fundraiser for people. But like I say, this is about as far north or far south as I go today. I'm going to turn around, head back home. It's back down the same basic trail. So later on, possibly tomorrow, I'm going to start up another section of this to add to this video, and I'm going to be out in an area north of where I live, and out what I lovingly refer to as my old hunting grounds from when I was a teenager. But until then, you guys just enjoy your day. I'll get back to you. See you soon. Take care. Hi guys, I'm back. I wanted to make a note on this and show you guys in the town that I live in. As you can see, there's quite a bit of urban housing around here, but the town was very smart in its planning phases as to leaving our wildlife here and not interfering with them. Now, I don't know if you can see them, but straight across there is a nice flock of Canadian geese. Another flock over there. We've got seagulls here. We've got ducks. We've got a swan population that has moved in. We've got a dozen swans that live here and nest here and raise their broods here. But I wanted to do, you know, a major shout out to my little town that I live in, that they think ahead and do things like this that allows people like myself and yourself the time to get out with nature and to enjoy this. Now that canal, it looks like where it ends over there, that canal goes back in another half mile or so, and there's a lot of nesting area in there. A lot of the cattails that you see here, they build up back in there, and there's an amazing group of swans that have babies, little goslings, by the hundreds here in spring when they come back. And a lot of this, by the way, a lot of our geese that are here, or a lot of our ducks that are here, stay here annually. They don't all migrate, and according to the rumor that I'm hearing from some of the wildlife population people, that I guess that's habit with the animals, it's nature with the animals, that if they're born here, they stay here. They don't fly south for their nesting for the spring, and that they'll stay here in perpetuity. Now, like I say, this is our urban area, but yet they give us this, and it's a really nice thing to have the town and the municipalities think about this. This is one of the larger areas, but there are so many of these around my town that it's just amazing. You saw one yesterday that I in a video that I posted earlier in this, where I call dog water, where the trails kind of go out through the country and then come back in and meet into a heavy urban area with a lot of traffic. That's another one of the large ones. Just northeast of where I'm standing is a massive one, and the population for the young in the spring is amazing. You can go walking through there and they just all wander around. So, but I just wanted you to see that, and I'll get back to you farther down my hike. Thanks. Hey everybody, and just like that, I'm back, and it's tomorrow. The vids that posted before this were the wife and I walking some secluded trails that our municipality puts in, and yesterday we discovered for the first time that those trails are also financed by the Department of Interior from the United States. Now, this is an area that as a young man, and we're talking preteen, that I spent a lot of time hunting at. This land right here is known as the Newcomb Farms. And as you can see, there's a couple of houses back in there. And back in those pines is a very old log cabin that a gentleman named Fred lived in. And I met Fred when I was about 12 or 13 years old, and at a local gun club. And I set trap as a young man, along with my brother and several of my other friends. But we would hike down here. This was our hunting ground. And we hunted and trapped down here, and we hunted ducks and deer and muskrat, and did a lot of fishing down here, and left a lot of great memories right back in that area back in there, where there's a huge creek that goes through there. Now if you see those telephone poles there in the picture, that used to be what we called the old Hojack line. The railroad ran through there, and us kids would get up underneath the bridge and play there. But this is now, and I'm going to get down off the road because it's starting to get busy out here, this is now a more urban area. This used to be all rural farm hunting, and this has been one of my favorite hiking places for a long time. Now, I'm not going to belabor the view because there isn't that much of a view, but this is me going out alone today. I'm going to catch 5 miles here and then head back for home. This is going to loop around back to my home area. But I just wanted you to see where I was and what I was doing. I know I haven't had a lot of videos up lately, and the gear list is coming together like I promised you. We're just waiting on the alpaca stuff, like I said in the previous post, and I think they're worth waiting for. I like promoting small companies, and a little company in Peru that has to wait to get enough orders together to make stuff is small for me, and I like that. So I'm gonna shut this off for now, and then I'm gonna pick it up a little bit later on, out towards some more of my old hunting grounds and my old hiking grounds. But I'll talk to you in just a little bit. Enjoy.